Okay, so welcome back. Now we're going to talk about Limassons. So Limassons, as you can see, are similar in shape to cardioids. In fact, cardioids are part of the Limason family. Okay. Now notice that they have the exact same formula, right? The only difference is, in fact, these are the same. The only difference is the ratio. Now remember, for a cardioid, this ratio of A to B is equal to 1. Well, if the ratio is between 1 and 2, then you have a dimpled, what we call a dimpled, right? Or one loop Limason, or sometimes called dimpled. Okay, because it's got this dimple on the side. Okay, now, so what this means is basically another way of looking at it is as long as A is between B and twice B. Okay, if A is bigger than B but less than double of B, then you're going to have this dimpled Limason. Okay, now the other part of this, just so you, is what if there's what's called a convex Lima Sun. Now, convex is if the ratio is bigger than 2, or bigger than or equal to 2. Okay, so I'm going to write this. So if the ratio of A to B is bigger than or equal to 2, then what you have is a convex Limason. Okay. What else? Oh, and then there's also the 2 loop. Okay. So, or what's called the inner loop, right? And so we'll talk about that, where some of the Limassons will have this, instead of a dimple, they'll have this curve, but then it'll have a loop here. So this is one loop, and then what it'll do is it'll have an inner loop where it will, instead of a dimple, it'll actually break and actually form a smaller inner loop and then come back around. Okay, but that's also a Limasson. Okay, but then we call that a 2 loop or inner loop Limasson. Okay, so what I've written on the board are what we call the dimpled. Okay, so now okay, so again, we're going to go through the same steps in the next example. So again, things that we're going to do is we're going to test for symmetry. Okay, now remember, okay, when we test for symmetry, if it fails the test, it does not necessarily mean that it doesn't have that symmetry. So again, you've got to test points and things like that. So we're going to go through these steps. We're going to look for the zeros. Okay, we're going to look for the maximum values according to the trigonometric expressions. Okay, we're going to make a table and plot the points. So again, we're going to go through the same steps that we've been going previously. Okay, so that's it. Have a great day, and we'll come back with an example.